那影片的分类目前中国还没有，但是据说快了，因为现在如果完全没有分类的话，也不好看。
Actually, that classification, Jiang Chong answered the second question first. That classification is really more an internal administrative classification, rather than one that the consumers are aware of. But basically, we look at where the patterns of box office contribution are coming from. That is the basis of classification. Consumers may have a different way of doing it. We observe that of the 3 tiers that we talked about, really the first and the third tiers receive probably more attention. It is the middle tier that potentially has some neglect, because the very lowest tiers, with this active digital deployment exercise, they are going over time to be very well provided for and very well looked after. And the first tier, of course, being the top tier and the most commercially viable, that's always a tier that's looked after. So it's the middle tier, which is the one that will receive the most, that will need the most attention, and that is going to get the most attention in this digital deployment exercise.
那刚才讲的第一个问题就是说，目前为什么中国的数字电影发展这么快？我刚才已经讲了，有国家的一个广电总局的一个支持的一个计划，它一下就把中国建成了160个数字荧幕。那我们这又继续在发展，现在已经到200个。刚才我讲，明年可能要超过500个。其实我们的目标，刚才我说韩国到2008年要做300个，他们说你们呢？我说我们中国5年之内2000台。这么快，肯定的，因为我们要就不做，要做做得最好。刚才我讲，我们作为一个大集团，你如何能够占领市场50%以上的份额，我们就是要实现它。
The answer to the first question is really the government policy has a lot to do with it, because our belief is if we want to do something, we go all the way. And our rapid digital deployment has also resulted in a critical mass being achieved quite quickly. So much so that other countries are talking to us about the number of digital screens that they will have, and we always seem to be slightly ahead.
另外，国家非常支持，每年给数字电影增加单独发行10部进口影片，就是胶片不可以上映的，在数字院线上映。
The other thing that has helped is also national policy of having certain movies only available for distribution on digital and no longer available on 35mm.
作为影院，如果你放映数字电影，国家减免你5%的电影专项基金。
As an exhibitor, as a cinema owner, if you screen in digital, the national administration gives you a 5% reduction in the fees payable.
还有一点就是，比如说报道的情人节也在我们数字院线发行了。由于情人节是用胶片跟数字同步发行，所以在去年的在那个情人节的档期，这一部影片它既占住了胶片的市场，又进入了数字院线。那它这个片子在4部上映的这个情人节电影当中，这部影片收入是最高的。
Director Huo's film A Time to Love was released in China on Valentine's Day last year, and was released both in digital as well as on 35mm celluloid. Because of that, it was top at the box office in both domains, both among celluloid as well as digital.
现在数字院线的影片排片已经到了明年的4月份，预约发行档期。
Advanced programming and scheduling now for digital cinemas at this point in time is already up to April 2007.
有2个数字给大家念一下，就是说数字院线对于目前影片上映的诱惑力。
I will quote you now 2 sets of statistics to show just how powerful digital cinema is.
成龙演的《宝贝计划》在数字院线以胶片跟数字的形式共同发行。
Jackie Chan's Robin Hood shown released simultaneously both on film and on digital.
宝贝计划，我们的制作成本就是我们发行成本，数字跟胶片的比较。
The ratio of costs that we incur in distribution between digital and film.
以数字形式发行需要成本 和胶片比较，我们只占2.36%。
The cost that we incurred to distribute this movie digitally was only 2.36% of the cost that we otherwise incurred on film. 2.36%对吗？2.36%。
但是我们的票房占全国总票房，就是数字的产生的票房占全国总票房14%。
Although it was only 2.3% of the cost, but the box office contribution of digital was 14% from digital for Hollywood.
所以像每年中国最大的电影，从去年的《无极》，今年已经演过的冯小刚的《夜宴》，所有分量越重的影片，它越选择我们的数字院线发行。
Because of this phenomenon, now all our big movies, for example, The Promise from last year, Feng Xiaogang's The Banquet, all the more now, there's so much support and enthusiasm for going digital.
包括今年张艺谋的《满城尽带黄金甲》，半年前跟我们约定，今年12月14号的发行档期。
So much so that Zhang Yimou's Curse of the Golden Flower arrangements were booked with us to go digital for the 14th of December this year. The arrangements were made 6 months ago.
由于我们数字院线的数字影厅是在全国前100家影院里边最好的银幕，所以他也担心，如果不上数字的话，我们如果上商城，肯定会干扰到黄金甲的票房。
Because our digital cinema network, the theaters are among the top 100 cinemas in the country. I think they were also worried. If they didn't go digital, their performance would be adversely affected.
所以国家呢也支持国产电影进入数字院线。我们数字院线就是想有很多著名的导演拍了很多影片，由于它没有档期，全部被分账影片占领的档期，国产影片没法发行。所以我们数字院线呢，在很大程度上，刚才我讲80%多的比例，我们放的都是国产电影。
Of course, the government encourages our local films to go digital, but it's also very important for another reason. In the past, before digital, there's always a shortage of screens available for the scheduling of movies in the traditional format, and there's so much competition with films from abroad. So it's all the more important for domestic movies to embrace the digital format.
为什么这么吸引影片呢？在数字院线发行，因为国家广电总局有政策支持。如果胶片电影进入数字院线，它的加工费用是需要10.04万人民币就可以了。
One other policy that helps from the State Administration of Film, Radio and Television is all that is needed for conversion, if you have a film of 35mm to go into digital circuit, is 100,000 renminbi.
这样就可以在你200个戏院、200个银幕，为片方节约了上百万的拷贝费用。
Well, that gets the film access to 200 digital screens and saves 3 million renminbi in print cost, 35mm print cost.
众多因素造成数字电影在中国发展很快，也是受到了影片的这个投资商的支持。
Many factors contribute to the success of our digital rollout, including the support of the people who make the films.